All right, we're back on YouTube for another episode of Amon Sheeran's Pirate Radio podcast. I'm just going to start the podcast up on Anchor. Hello and welcome to another episode of Amon Sheeran's Pirate Radio podcast. Today's episode, we're going to do talk about my life, a little life update. We're going to talk about the 2020 Major League Baseball, NFL, MLB, NBA, NFL, and NHL championship odds. And I was thinking about starting to do more streaming. I was thinking about, obviously, this is a live stream on YouTube, but I was also thinking about streaming on Twitch, some video games. Kind of felt like everyone was doing the Fortnite Warzone stream, so I wanted to do more gameplay streams, like walkthrough streams. The first game I had in mind was Assassin's Creed Black Flag, one of my favorite games, probably my second favorite Assassin's Creed game, next to the Assassin's Creed 3, which was the American Revolution game, and that was the third game in the Assassin's Creed, third major installment in the Assassin's Creed series, and this was the fourth, Black Flag, and I thought that fit really well because it's a pirate game, Amon Sheeran Pirate Radio podcast, so I thought that fit really well, and yeah, so if you want to follow me on Twitch, it's at Pirate Radio Pod. I figured we could do some cool gameplay streams and try to get more people interested in following the podcast. So that's what it's really about. And I'm excited for that. I'm sure I'll talk more about that as I have more updates. Just a quick update on my life. I've been, I think the coronavirus is still a serious threat, but as we moved on in and out of the phases, I think we're in phase 4 right now in New York. And I think New York's done a very good job of handling the coronavirus. So I've been getting outside more, playing some frisbee with friends. I've also been golfing a little bit. Two sports that aren't really contact sports. You can stay socially distant for the most part while you do them. So I'm excited to be doing that and getting outside a little bit more. That's kind of my life update. And yeah, let's get into some of the championship odds. It's going to be a short stream, short podcast, little bite-sized episode for you guys. And I'm still trying to recruit more guests to the show. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. And if you're interested in being a guest on the show, definitely contact me, Instagram, Twitter, if you have my number. And we can definitely arrange that and get you guys on, talk about whatever you want. All right, so we'll start with the NBA. I'll read off some of the odds here. To win the championship. So read off like the top 10 or so. Los Angeles Lakers are plus 210. The Bucks are plus 270. The Clippers are plus 333. The Raptors are plus 900. The Rockets are plus 1400. And the Celtics are plus 1500. And the Sixers are plus 2500. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, so we'll go to 10. The Nuggets are plus 2,800. The Heat are plus 3,300, and the Mavs are plus 4,000. So I really think it's the Lakers here. It's going to be tough for them to come out of the West against the Clippers, but everything feels like it's designed for LeBron to win another championship. He was the one advocating for the bubble, while some other superstars like Kyrie were unsure and decided not to come back. But he was the one pushing for the bubble because he knows this is one of his last few chances to win a championship with the Lakers before he decides to retire. And everything feels like it's Lakers' year. Like I said, they'll have to beat Kawhi, Paul George coming out of the West, but I think they're up to that task. In terms of the East, obviously you have the Bucks as the number one threat. The Raptors look good after... Well, the Raptors didn't look good last night after they got trounced by the Celtics, but the Celtics and the Sixers both look good. The Raptors will always be a threat. They're still the defending champions, even though they lost to Kawhi. Nuggets, Heat, Mavs. But I think the real threat comes out of the West to the Lakers, and that's the Clippers. So I think the Western Conference Finals could be a great series, but I would never sleep on the possibility for the Bucks-Lakers matchup, and us finally getting to see a series between LeBron and Giannis. So that's the NBA. My safe bet would be on the Lakers, but obviously, there's some value in maybe taking the Clippers at plus 233. If you really want to get fancy, you can take and find some more value. Take the Celtics, Sixers. But I really think it's going to be between the Lakers and the Clippers, and whoever comes out of the West is going to end up winning the NBA championship. All right, next we're going to move on to the NHL. So it's been really exciting. It's a lot of people tweeted that it's kind of like going from like 0 to 100 real quick, going from no hockey to playoff hockey, especially playoff overtime hockey. It's one of the most exciting things in all sports. The next goal wins is how they do it. So as soon as it goes into overtime, whoever scores the next goal is the winner. So that's really exciting. I've been looking forward to some more playoff hockey. The format is a little weird, but I think in the next couple of weeks we're going to see all teams playing meaningful games, do or die games. So it's really exciting. We're in 5-game series right now, but it's going to move on to 7-game series, and I'm really looking forward to that. To me, it feels like the Tampa Bay Lightning's year. I think they have the best chance right now. They got a really good team, good top 3. I think they have. I don't want to butcher who they have, so I'm going to look up their roster. But I know they have Stamkos and a lot of good players, a lot of good fast attackmen. While I'm looking that up, it was a great game last night. The Toronto Maple Leafs were down 5-0 with 3-0 with 5 minutes to go. And they ended up coming all the way back to force an overtime, and Austin Matthews scored an overtime winner to force a game 5. So that was really exciting. I love watching that game live. All right, so the Tampa Bay Lightning roster. So this is some of the star players for Tampa Bay: Steven Stamkos, Nikita Kucherov, Andre Valesky in goal, Tyler Johnson at right wing. So they got some really fast scoring. They got a great forecheck, some great forwards. So I'm going to look at Tampa Bay to be my pick to win this year's Stanley Cup. So I'm going to go through some of the odds real quick as this loads. Sorry, I got to look that up. Stanley Cup odds. All right, let's see what we got here. So we got the Tampa Bay Lightning at plus 700, the Golden Knights at plus 850, Avalanche at plus 850, and the Blues at plus 1100. So the Blues defending championships definitely in the mix, but right now, sorry I'm going with the chalk here and all the favorites, but I like the Tampa Bay Lightning at plus 700 to win the Stanley Cup this year. But I'm definitely looking forward to more playoff hockey. Very exciting stuff all the way through. And yeah, it's one of the best things in all sports, playoff overtime hockey, and that sudden death aspect of it. So now we'll move on to the MLB. So I'll start with the odds. Dodgers plus 450, Yankees plus 450, Astros plus 1,000, the Rays plus 1,400, Twins plus 1,600, the Braves plus 1,800, Nationals also plus 1,800, and the Reds plus 2,000. So I got to stick with the hometown team. One of my favorite teams, the Yankees. I've always been a Yankee fan, and it really does feel like their year. They're coming off a loss against the Rays, but I think the bats they have in their lineup, and if they could get some good starting pitchers, then they could figure out their bullpen, maybe make a move. I don't know how the trade deadline is going to be this year in the MLB, the shortened season, but I think if they can add one arm in relief or middle relief, I think they could be really dangerous. And they're my pick to win the World Series this year. Obviously, you have Sanchez, bats of Sanchez, Gary Sanchez, Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge has been absolutely on fire. He homered in like 5 straight games or something crazy like that. Look for him to have the most home runs this year. If there's a prop bet on that, I would definitely take it. And yeah, I think he's going to have the record for the shortened season most home runs. So look for the Yankees. Obviously, the Dodgers are a threat. Astros still a threat. But yeah, there's a lot of good teams. But I'm looking for the Yankees to pull it through this year. We're going to talk quickly about football, see where the odds at right now, try to see where some value is. But since they're not in season, we're not going to talk about them as much. So we'll do Super Bowl odds real quick. Actually, the Patriots right now are 20-1. Oh, this is all the teams. Okay. So we'll just go. Let's look at some of the best odds. So we got the Ravens at 8-1. Like I said, the Patriots 21. I'm curious to see the where the Buccaneers are. My Jets at 50-1. There we go. I'm just gonna look up Chiefs. See where the Chiefs are and see where the Buccaneers are, and we'll call it a day. Chiefs Super Bowl odds. Obviously, defending champions, best player in the league, Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback at least. Chiefs Super Bowl odds. Right now, they opened up at 6-1 with the Ravens 7-1 and the 49ers at 8-1. So those are the three favorites right now. Obviously, you have the Super Bowl matchup with the 49ers and the Chiefs, and the Ravens right in the middle. So that definitely makes sense. Got the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, great defense, and then Niners and Chiefs Super Bowl matchup. So, yeah, I could definitely see the Ravens pulling through this year, but I'm really curious to see with the Buccaneers, Gronk and Brady, see where they are at right now. So 22-1. So they're actually lower than the Patriots, but I don't see the Buccaneers winning it this year. It seems like a little too good to be true with aging Gronk and Brady. They do have some weapons. I know they have in their receivers like Mike Evans, but I think they're making a deep playoff run, but I don't see them winning a championship game or a Super Bowl this year. So that about wraps it up for our sports talk. To go through it again, I have the Lakers winning the NBA, the Lightning winning the NHL, the Yankees winning the MLB, and I'll pick the Ravens to come through the NFL and win the Super Bowl. So just to wrap things up, we talked a little bit about my life, playing Frisbee, golf, having some fun, trying to get outside a little bit more while staying socially distant. And yeah, I'm looking forward to set up a Twitch stream at Pirate Radio Pod. Follow that. Look out for updates on that. And yeah, we talked a little sports, talked a little bit about my life, just a quick short stream. I'm going to try to do weekly episodes and try to get more guests on. But yeah, look out for that. And if you're interested in being a guest, send me a DM, send me a message, and we'll definitely make that happen. Thank you guys again for listening, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Hello and welcome to another episode of AMON Sharon's Pirate Radio Podcast. I think this is the first time